on the line, Ray, right now with us. How are you today?
Well, I'm good, but I got to clarify. I only play a pastor in the movie. My dad actually was the real pastor. I'm just a I'm in the entertainment industry. So
we were giving you an honorary degree.
Oh, okay. I played several pastors. There's no doubt about that. And yeah, so I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Well, I did not realize. I recognize your face because you've been in over 20 films, and I'm sure Ray does too. So you're behind God's Not Dead, and we are so excited about that film here on American Family Radio. We've been promoting it. We've been talking about it. We can't wait to get out and see it. Tell us about how this got started, what your anticipation is, because we're behind you 100%.
Thank you so much. Well, I am one of the founding partners in PureFlix Entertainment, and PureFlix, we make films that uplift and inspire the human spirit. Our goal is to shape culture through Christ-centered movies. And God's Not Dead came about. We have a lot of partnerships with different pastors all across the United States that show our films in their churches, and we started asking them what it is that they wanted to see. What do they want from us as far as like what would they like us to make a film about? And they really felt it was important to make a film that really focused on why Christians believe what we believe, basically apologetics. And so we started down this road with we were contacted and connected up with the Newsboys. Their song "God's Not Dead." Rice Brooks wrote a book about called "God's Not Dead." And all these different elements started to come together to make this film, and it's been incredible as we started to roll it out with the screenings all across the United States. When the trailer hit Facebook in October, it was the #1 shared page in the world. Over 50 million people shared that trailer that week that it went up, and it's just been incredible to see the response of people around this movie.
David, the movie. The major part of it is set inside a university classroom, and I got to tell you, the actor who plays the professor, I mean, this who says you've got to write "God is dead" on a piece of paper. That's unbelievably gripping moment. Tell us, just give us a sense of the drama that is taking place inside God's Not Dead.
Sure. Yeah, the center storyline is about a college student who's being discriminated against and forced to defend his faith in the university setting. And at the end of the movie, we list all these different court cases that this has happened in all across the country. In fact, about 2 weeks ago, it happened in Florida where a professor told all of the students to write the name of Jesus on a piece of paper and then go stand on it. It's happening in our country as we speak. And so we wanted to make as part of our film about that to encourage college students to stand up for what they believe and also know what they believe. And this movie really takes the viewer and he puts them center stage and he asks the question, is there a God? What do you believe? And if there is a God, how does that then translate into your life? And there's 6 different storylines. We have all different levels of faith. We have an atheistic journalist. Of course, the atheistic professor. I play a pastor who feels like he's been sidelined a little bit, that God's kind of forgotten him. So all different levels of belief, and basically we just wanted the film to connect to people on a really where they're at right now in their lives.
David, can you tell our listening family the importance of getting out there and seeing these films that are faith-based? Because I think a lot of times we don't realize how Hollywood works if we're not in that industry. And to show support and to show Hollywood, hey, this is what we want. We want good, clean films, not only ones that are family-friendly, but ones that glorify God. And now it seems like with God's Not Dead's coming out and Heaven is for Real and Noah, it's exciting. But it's important to support them.
We live in a sight and sound generation. Our culture is impacted by the media. So there's no greater thing than to use the media to transform culture. Mm-hmm. And right now, you have an opportunity. God's Not Dead is a wonderful evangelistic film that you can take your whole family to, but you can also invite people in your community who might not come to a Sunday morning service, but they will come out to see a movie. And what I love about movies, is that, when you go in and the lights dim and you're getting ready to watch the movie, you allow that film to take you to places that you wouldn't even allow your best friend to take you. And that's the amazing power of cinema. And Hollywood has used it for a lot of damage over the years. And we're here to change that. We're here to make some light in the darkness. And if you go out this Friday, we open this Friday, it's so important to get the opening box office numbers, because if you don't, you're not coming back the following week. We're in about 800 theaters across the United States. We've definitely blanketed the United States to make sure that it's close to you. But when you go and when you buy your ticket, you're casting a vote and you're saying to Hollywood, I want to see more of these type of films. I want to see more of these films that uplift and inspire the human spirit instead of tearing it down.
So, David, you've got the Newsboys, you've got the drama that's set in the university classroom, and then you've got Willie and Corey Robertson from Duck Dynasty. Tell us a little bit about the part they play in the film, because I know they show up just for a moment in the trailer.
Yep, they show up a couple times throughout the film. We had specifically written this part for someone like them, and we were trying to, they have an incredible audience, close to 10 million viewers a week. And when they signed on board, we couldn't have been, more happy. And they really just walked the walk. I mean, they love the Lord with all their hearts, and they had just been a tremendous partnership on this film, and they're wonderful in the movie. It's fun. There's a lot of humor in the movie, but there's also, just really great, just great moving moments.
David, I'm sorry, Ray, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask one follow-up
Sure.
question. Obviously, this is a film that's going to really challenge Christians to be bold about their faith, but do you also envision that Christians will bring their maybe unbelieving, skeptical, questioning friends? Would this be the kind of movie that somebody who's got questions about the Christian faith, would it be good for them to watch also?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. It's not just for believers. I mean, obviously, we wanted to first and foremost to encourage believers in their faith that it's okay to stand up, and when you do stand up, it's amazing the ripple effect that happens in other people's lives that are watching what you do. We so often, we feel like our lives, that we're not making a difference often, or that, if I just do this little thing, or it's not going to matter, nobody cares. Mm-hmm. But people are watching us on a daily basis, and there is a ripple effect. And this film has these 6 different wonderful storylines that really relate to all different types of people. And it's not just for believers; it's for everybody. And the neat thing that happens when people, we've had these screenings around the country, and what opens up after the film finishes is this wonderful conversation, dialogue. It's a great dialogue between parents and kids. It's a great dialogue just about what do you believe. And it's not an attack on what you believe. It's just a reasoning of why is it that you believe what you believe. And so we couldn't be more just excited to share this film this weekend.
Well, and also for us to stand strong and not get pulled into being politically correct. Because sometimes as Christians, it's like you have a heart and you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, and you don't want to step over the line. But we're having to realize we have to step over the line, and that we can love, but most of all, we have to stand up for the Word of God. And this is what people need. They need to be encouraged to make a stand for what they believe. Because I think people, like you said, are afraid to. They're worried, because they don't want to offend anyone. And so to come out of a film inspired and empowered to make a stand, I think that that's really going to hit the hearts of right where people are right now.
Yes, yeah. And I mean, it's been interesting. This the film has just. I was on an airplane the other day and coming here we're in New York and doing some. I had a screening last night actually, and the stewardess had asked why we were coming out, and we said, well, we're screening our film, God's Not Dead. And she goes, God's not dead? What? Really? God's not dead? And I didn't know that God is not dead, and it was such a bizarre reaction to saying, the title of the movie. Well, 20 minutes later, she came back and she had tears in her eyes, and she just broke up with her boyfriend, and she's been going through a tough time. And she said to us, she goes, "I know this is going to sound crazy, but I actually believe that somehow I was meant to hear that God is speaking to me through you, even saying that he's not dead." And my wife immediately said, and he cares for you too. God is not dead, and he cares for you. And that's what this movie at the core is about, is we are called to live in the love like Jesus. We want, to stand up for our faith and to not be afraid of that, but ultimately just to love people. And that's what there's so much, you walk out of this film inspired, and also inspired to go and to love others and to share the love of Jesus with them.
David, thank you for being obedient, following through, taking this project on. We're excited about it. David A.R. White, if you'd like to contact him, God's Not Dead, themovie.com, God's Not Dead, themovie.com. And we encourage you, get out and see this film this Friday. And I know it's just going to be so blessed. We're praying for you. We support you here. And we're excited to see what's going to happen and all the other stories that you're going to hear when you're in the grocery store, in the bakery, or on the plane from people that have been touched. God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you for having me.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye.